hello again.
I would, real quick, just like to bring up some of the very important people that worked on this movie. My producer, Adela Romansky, is here. Without her, this would not have been made. My editor, Matt Sanders. Without him, this movie wouldn't make any sense. And Sean O'Malley, my sound guy. Without him, you wouldn't hear anything. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Actually, really quick, I do just want to thank everyone. This was our last screening here, and I kept on trying to sneak out because I've seen it like a billion times by now, and I just couldn't. It's really fun to watch your movie with an audience. So, thank you for everything. Go ahead. Hi. Thanks. No. No, you nosy lady, no. Darren. No, that's just the way he was born. Dax Shepard does look like Zach Braff, and Zach Braff looks like Dax Shepard, and it was not on purpose, unless his mother worked something out. That's just the way he looks. Any other questions? Is he available for you? No, he is in a relationship.
Could you talk a little about the structure and whether you had it in mind the whole time or if you conceived it at the end?
Yeah, the question was about the structure, and I'm assuming the sort of non-linearness of it. And we actually, my initial outline for this story was way less linear than this. It was a lot of flopping back and forth, before and after, during, and sort of observing this couple and how it affects them, how this one little event affects them. But it didn't make as much sense. I'm not creative enough to make that work yet. But I did like the idea of having sort of this flash forward to we called it the walk of shame, and sort of this a little bit of foreshadowing, and then constantly going back to the sort of fateful conversation that brought them to the point that you're watching unfold. Does that make sense? So yeah, that was always sort of in the cards, but maybe not as much. Nat had a huge part to play in how this sort of all unfolded, and he helped make it make a lot more sense than how I did, I think. Yeah.
You don't have to tell us whether or not they did it, but did you have an idea one way or the other when writing, and did that change by the time you had to shoot?
We did have an idea, and we shot it, and we actually had a cut with it in there. But as we sort of went through the test screening processes and talking a lot about it, I like the idea of leaving the audience in Annie and Darren's position of not knowing and just having to trust and wonder and guess and maybe leave it behind or maybe not, but make your own decisions from there. Yeah.
So I noticed everyone looked really good in all the bedroom scenes. How was that lit, and how was it different from all the other scenes?
Did we not look good in the other scenes?
Not as good. Just like skin tones and colors and things like that.
Yeah, that was me in the movie, just so you know. Awkward. Honestly, there was no specific idea. I mean, I know afterwards when we were color correcting it, we definitely wanted those bedroom scenes to feel warmer and more intimate. So that was intentional, if you did feel that. Everything else, we lit, and I wish Ben, my DP, was here because he loves to take questions like this. And he should really field this question because he is responsible for how this whole movie looks. But the way we shot this, there was no rehearsal and no blocking, and so the way he lit everything was to just light it 360, so he could sort of follow us around and figure out what we were going to do in the moment. So while there was no intentional lighting scheme, I think afterwards in the coloring of it, we did want that one scene to feel very warm and intimate. That's okay. You think I look ugly in the rest of the movie. It's cool. Anyone else want to talk about the way we all look?
I have a question. I thought that the chemistry between you two was really, really organic. And I was wondering, especially the conversations, were they strictly planned out? Like, did you stick to the script the entire time?
We actually didn't have a script. We shot from a 6-page outline. So this is everything you saw was improvised. Yeah. Well, thanks. Now he thinks I look cute. But yeah, everything was improvised, and so I actually think that adds to the organic feeling that you get out of that. So, yeah. This is my first film. I've acted in. Thank you. I should have just let you finish clapping. No, I've acted in a lot of the Duplass brothers films. In fact, I'm married to Mark Duplass. So I sort of, without even meaning to, went to their school of filmmaking just by watching them do what they do so wonderfully.
Can you talk about your experience of being the main actress and the director?
Yeah, I think it was a really interesting experience. I went into this sort of knowing that that was going to be my biggest challenge. And so because of that, surrounded myself with awesome people, like these guys who could really help tell this story and help make it all come to life. A lot of times Nat would come out of his editing hole and he would be my eyes on set, and if he wasn't there, Ben Kaselke would do it. And Adela and Sean were there every day, and they were all helping tell this story. You know, we would talk about a scene a ton beforehand, and we would talk about exactly what we wanted to get out of it, or what we felt like we needed to get, and then would run these really, really, really long takes, and just sort of let them flow. And see what we got, and then, you know, come together at the end of the take and be like, what do you think? Do we get it? What else do we need? What do we need to work on? And, you know, I don't think as an actor you're really supposed to say this, but you sort of know how a scene is going while you're in it. So it wasn't as difficult as I had maybe anticipated, but I really definitely can say that I couldn't have done it without having amazing people who can all really make movies on their own, you know, help me along the way and hold my hand. Yeah. Do it at the same time. I'll see which one I hear.
Okay, so.
Alright, first of all, I want to say it was a great movie, and I also know that it's an extremely low budget, right, compared to the other Sundance Film Festival movies. Could you talk about how much it cost and how long it took?
I can't talk about exactly how much it cost because there are people who buy films here, and I'd like them to think it was very expensive. You know, it was the way we did this. Actually, you know, we used the resources that we had available to us. We didn't really overextend ourselves. You know, our crew is working for back end, so you know, I owe them a lot. But you know, we did it for as cheap as we could possibly do it while still trying to make a good film. In 11 days. Yeah.
Wow.
Now you really think I'm cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was always in the outline, right? Yeah, that was always the idea, was to go back and be like, really stick the knife in your heart and twist it a little bit.
What was your biggest challenge working around the improv-wise the whole time? There was a lot of just to have it develop the conversation.
I guess this was the second film that I've cut in this style, and it's definitely totally different challenges. You're not, you know, a lot of times with scripted stuff, you can find the best take and, you know, plug that all in, and then you'll see a line here or there isn't great, so you'll look for a different, better take. But this is really like cutting a documentary. You're really kind of, I feel like production is almost like the first draft, and the actors are just kind of spitting everything out, and then the real kind of writing and revision happens in editing. And so sometimes it's what, 30, 40-minute takes sometimes, so you're really having to really submerge yourself in the footage and really just kind of build it brick by brick. And yeah, it's great. It's definitely a totally different skill set, and it's a lot more like writing. And yeah, I'm sorry, did I answer your question? Cool, thank you.
What does your husband think of the film, and what would he change in anything?
What does my husband think? He loves the film. He's incredibly proud of it and me. And I think if he wanted to change anything, he wouldn't tell me, because he is very supportive and wonderful.
Yeah.
How did the casting of Dax come about? Because I've only seen him as like angry goofballs before.
I know, right? The casting, it was incredibly fortuitous, really. He actually came on at the very last minute. We had shot 3 days with a different actor, and it wasn't working. It was sort of missing the spark that you get to see with Dax, and I knew that's what I wanted. But it was totally an accident that Dax happened to have that spark. After we let the other actor go, we were sort of floundering, wondering exactly who we were going to put in here. And Ben Kasalki, our DP, is madly obsessed with Dax Shepard from Idiocracy and was constantly quoting him, inappropriately, really. And knew that my husband Mark knew him. Mark had taken a meeting with him like a year ago, and they sort of became like ping pong buddies. You know, and it's not like he didn't even know him well enough that I had never met him. So he ended up giving him a call, and Dax said, sure. And Mark said, I'll send you the outline. He goes, don't worry about it, I'll just show up. And he literally showed up and walked in, and he just was fantastic. We couldn't have been luckier. It was like this crazy strike, a bolt of lightning. I was thrilled.
Anyone else?
Is that my very last question to Sundance? Yeah, I did it. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you.